At the University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa, Leo O Hawaiʻi is the campus newspaper. For more than 100 years, student journalists have been chasing down stories that impact the student body. And while there have been lots of changes through the decades, some issues students faced in 1922 are still around today.
Journalism really is democracy in a sense. The truth sometimes hurts, but the truth also exposes fraud in government systems, and journalism was really developed to hold our institutions accountable.
Student newspapers have been part of American universities for over 200 years. And when the College of Hawaiʻi was founded, there was a student government in place, but no student newspaper until about 7 years in. And there was an English class, and they were talking about starting a student newspaper, and the student said, "I'd like to do that." Except for he was completely blind, commuting from Pearl City on 3 different streetcar routes, but he could type, and he cared about student spirit, and he said, "We can do this." And so Henry Bent put it together, the first issue that came out 100 years ago. 4 pages in which he encouraged people to be part of the newspaper, encouraged people to support student activities. When the newspaper was started, the name was called the Hawaii Mirror. But people thought, hey, this is Hawaii. We should have a name that reflects this place. 50 people submitted names that they thought would work, and then they had a voting contest, and they agreed, Leo O Hawaiʻi, the voice of Hawaii, should be the name. And after the 10th issue, that became the name on the paper.
Kaleo quite literally means the voice. And so we are the student-run newspaper of the University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa. So all of the staffers here make decisions for this newspaper alone. We are run on student fees, which makes us sort of have this privilege. And so if something corrupt happens in the university, say, we're allowed to report on it without pushback. And that's a privilege that I'm really grateful for.
It's important to remember that student media programs are led by students. The advisor's job, my job when I was here, was to provide advice, to provide training, to provide critique of work so students had the opportunity to grow. The things that they would encounter is not something that you can fabricate in a classroom. When people are yelling at you because you didn't get the president's comment on a story, or when you've published an editorial that upsets people, or a cartoon. And so how do you navigate that? How do you listen to your audience? How do you make corrections? How do you anticipate problems while reporting a story? That's the advisor's job, but it can only be advice.
Kaleo covers mostly UH-centric news, but at the same time, students at UH also live in the community. So as long as we can kind of find a UH tie to community issues, we'll cover that as well. The students on campus often feel more comfortable coming to us than to the actual university themselves, because they know that we're students too, and they know something's happening, but they're too afraid to go to the university. And so oftentimes that's how we get tips for stories. And I think that's really valuable in a sense, because it means that we're approachable and the students know and respect our work to come to us first.
Recruiting is an issue nationally for all student media programs. Students are often working 2 or 3 jobs to pay for the tuition, to get the degree that they feel is necessary to get a job. And then when they're commuting, and if you live past Nu'uano, you know how long it takes to get to Mānoa. So providing a place where people feel welcome, so they want to stay after class to be able to do the work, is important. That's true of any program on campus. But it's a challenge because it is so difficult to balance all the needs that students have.
I always like to tell people when I'm recruiting new writers, recruiting new photographers, that Kaleo is really the stepping stone between beginning and starting a job in this any media organization, because we kind of diversify in that we have something for everybody. So we try and recruit from the English department, the Bachelors of Fine Arts kids come in and they're designers, the photography, and even kids who aren't in those majors, they participate. I find that sometimes I recruited students who were completely quiet at the beginning of the semester, and then by the end, since they're forced to talk to people with interviews, forced to listen to people when they do interviews, they come out of it being very good communicators.
Every year you get new students, but they're dealing with the old problems that the administration has challenges addressing, whether they be parking, food service, housing. Those recurring challenges exist everywhere. But regardless of how old and recurring they are, the news program has to cover them.
And if you look in these books, like moped thefts are still a thing, were still a thing in the 70s, like parking.
I think with any profession, you get better with repetition. And so if you're working on a program like Kaleo, which is a daily operation, you're learning how to work with a team. You're learning how to file on deadline. You're learning how to report and verify information that people may have different opinions about. You're learning how to digest that in a form that can be read and understood by people who are not familiar with the story. And all those skills, whether you be in journalism or not, are transferable to any profession.
The biggest thing that I've learned from Kaleo is that collaboration is key, and that I think that's why we value our group camaraderie so much, is because without the copy editor, without the designer, without the little pieces in the puzzle, it doesn't get done.
If you look at a lot of the journalists in town, many of them came through Kaleo and continue to come through Kaleo. Our community here and all communities need good journalists, so anything that Kaleo can do to improve reporting benefits the entire state. There is nothing like a student media program for learning at a university. You have the opportunity to cover everything on campus. This place is the most interesting community in the state in terms of people doing research, in terms of issues that are being addressed, in terms of spirit for the athletic teams. And to be able to cover that and share that in a variety of mediums is an opportunity you won't get anywhere else. And the learning that comes with that, through the triumphs and the mistakes and having to navigate that, is something that is critical to learning. And so my hope is that the university continues to recognize the value and will continue to support the program and the students who want to be part of it.
Sometimes when I call people up for interviews, the big icebreaker is they're like, oh, like I looked you up on the internet and you work for Kaleo. Like I was in Kaleo, or I used to read the Kaleo. And that's always the biggest icebreaker. I always get that. So it just shows how much the community has been involved with this newspaper. So I hope it stays in print.